I love this. I love this. You have no idea. You're gonna make me cry. You have no idea.
Imagine working in a company for about 20 years or so, and your boss suddenly saying, "Here, you take the keys to this company. You are now the boss." What would you do? This is a real life case study that I'm about to share with you today. It is wild, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did to bring his own brand into this new business. What's up, bosses? I'm Talyn, your personal brand consultant at Boss Diplomat, making you look so good you can't be ignored. Meet my client, Sammy Mateo Jr. He is now the owner of Danco Packaging after having worked in that company for over like 20 years or so, stocking inventory and putting people's orders together and making sure their warehouse is working, not really having to worry about sales and getting customers, making sure that your business is actually making money. He had no desire to actually run his own business, but when the opportunity came up, how could you say no? But a few things were not working in his favor. He did not change the brand at all. You know, the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. As a result, he decided not to change anything, not the name, not the logo. There was a little bit of a refresh with the website. As soon as he started to work in his business and realized, ooh, there's a lot to this business, things started to not work as well. He wasn't getting as many customers for his products. His website had so much products that it was really difficult to know what products a business actually needed. Sammy had a lot of competition. There was just so many other companies, especially big named companies, that were taking clients away from him. No one knew who he was. His business was very hard to find online, and this is a local business to me. I couldn't even find him on Google, and at that time I was actually looking for packaging products for some of my clients. Now on his website there is reference that Sammy is the owner of this business, but it kind of like fell flat on its face, you know? There wasn't that pizzazz. It wasn't a very interesting story, but his story is crazy interesting.
I was born in Puerto Rico. When I was 6, my family moved to the United States to Worcester, Massachusetts, so it's central Mass. About 16, 17, I've been living here in Western Mass. In that time, I went from working at the Boys and Girls Club to studying at UMass. I didn't graduate, but I ended up at HCC. And with that, I was able to get a job at a company called JC Danzak. And the owner, at the end of 2019, had already been intimating that he was going to retire. He did so. He sold the company to me. From there on, it's just been me. I've run the company all by myself. The business was struggling a little bit, but we're still above float. Things have taken a turn for the worst. Sales are down. It's been pretty difficult to the point where I haven't even been able to pay myself for the first time as a business owner so I can focus on paying the bills. And I've owned the business for close to 4 years. And in those 4 years, I've always been able to pay myself. And that's where I said, okay, it's time to reach out. Because like you said, this whole time, 24 years almost of JC Danzak and Danco Packaging, it's always been online. We've never really reached out to the local market. And the idea is to eventually get to a point where once the rebrand is done, we can start reaching out to the local market.
So it's really interesting that you know how your product is used. And I think we need to lean into that a little bit more, giving those businesses and being able to show them this is not just a box, this is part of your customer journey. Because the difference between what you're doing and what Amazon is doing is Amazon's boxes are just kind of like thrown in together, put to the side, and it's forgotten about. Now, your boxes, if it's being used by a small business owner, it's part of their entire customer journey. It's going to be part of their branding, and they don't know that yet. So how they present their product is going to be really important to how they sell their products, how that product is actually packaged. At the end of the day, they're not selling a $1 product, they're selling a 20, 30, 50, 100 product. So that margin on how they are profitable, how they put their end product together reflects onto their business. And I think we need to start saying things like that.
As you can see, using someone else's brand wasn't making sense for Sammy anymore. He was not a part of his very own business. One of the things that I do as a personal brand consultant is bringing you in front of your business so you become the face of your very own brand, and you are now the brand ambassador and not relying on anyone else to sell that business on your behalf. What I did was focus on his very unique story. Let's listen to Sammy's rebranded story with him as the face of the business.
Have you ever wondered how someone actually ends up becoming a packaging specialist? Picture a young Puerto Rican kid making the journey to the US at the age of 6. Education was a bit of a maze, but I stumbled upon my true love, graphic arts and web design. This passion led me to a golden opportunity at JC Danzak, a packaging company in Westfield, Massachusetts, where I worked with them for over 2 decades. As you can imagine, I soaked in everything packaging related during that time until life took an unexpected turn. My boss decided to sell JC Danzak, and believe it or not, he wanted to sell it directly to me. Jumping at this rare chance, I transformed from an employee to a full-fledged business owner overnight. JC Danzak became Danco Packaging, and everything seemed set in stone. Well, almost. Here's the twist. I noticed a gap in the packaging world, a lack of responsibility when it came to environmental issues. That's when the mission began promoting packaging that embraced the principles of reduce, reuse, and recycle. Yet it didn't stop there. Small businesses were drowning in packaging options without a clue about creating a memorable customer experience, and I wanted to fix that. As your packaging specialist, I'm not just about protecting your products, I'm your guide to ensuring your packaging fits, looks good, and is eco-conscious. Small businesses need support, and as someone with a design background, I'm here to walk you through the process. I'm Sammy Mateo Jr., your packaging concierge, ready to help you avoid costly mistakes with a brand experience that truly shines. Together, let's build an experience that goes beyond just packaging.
The other issue with Sammy's previous brand was that the logo was very generic. Originally, his mission was to state that he's an eco-friendly brand. The case is that many of these product packaging companies are focused on eco and sustainability, but that is not the selling point. That is like the basic thing now. You have to be more globally conscious and sustainable in order to survive in today's market. So the fact that he was using that as a selling point was simply not enough to really drive home more business to him. And as a result, I advised him that he needed to change the logo of his business. Now, as you can see, his old logo had a sun that makes up the letter O. I decided we can change that up a little bit.
I've put together a logo concept, so this is just an idea that you can run with. But you ready?
Go ahead.
3, 2, 1.
When you revealed the color scheme and you had the sun, I'm like, why have I never even thought of replacing the sun with the Taino sun?
Exactly.
And
You're just swapping one element out for something else. It's still a sun, but now it has even more significance. You're now telling people who you are through your branding. There's just more to it now. It just means a lot more.
Yeah. And the original logo, I designed the original logo, and back then it was still owned by JC Danzak, so I was just more about, let's keep it with the eco-friendly theme. Yeah, no, this is definitely where I'm headed on the next logo design.
The reason why I decided to replace this original sun with the Taino sun, it's very much part of Puerto Rican culture and heritage. And his heritage means so much to him that I decided to underline his heritage and bring that to the forefront of his backstory. Now we are able to intervene his cultural upbringing into his business without losing meaning that this is a packaging company. Now let's talk one more little thing about Sammy's rebrand. Colors, guys, colors. Now, when I was working on Sammy's rebrand, I had no idea that the colors would have such an impact on Sammy's reaction when I first explained and showed him how his colors could really bring out more of his heritage and more of his backstory in his overall brand.
Here, now I'm going to do the vivid. Ooh, ooh. All right.
Oh, I love this. I love this. You have no idea. You're going to make me cry.
Good. That's my job. I like making people cry.
You have no idea. Wow. I love tostones, by the way. That's number.
You said 5 plantains, and I was like, this is from, you mentioned a place in Puerto Rico, Canovanas.
Canovana, yeah. That's where I'm from.
Okay, and I saw this image
And
geographically tied to that.
Yeah, the Taino Indian. I'm quarter Taino Indian. My great grandmother was a Taino Indian. So that's very important to me. This is Talyn, literally.
As you can see, Sammy's rebrand has him in front of his business now. There's no denying the fact that Sammy Mateo Jr. is now the owner, a very proud owner of a company that actually did not belong to him. If you have any hesitation that your brand kind of sucks, you should get in touch with me. I have free mini brand sessions every single week. All you have to do is jump into my calendar for that free 30-minute session, and I will show you how many opportunities are actually available to you in your business right now, not next year from now, right now.